Hey guys, what's going on? This is Tony Tone, the chess salsero. Guys, today we're going to talk about the all important pawn break. What are pawn breaks? What is a pawn breakthrough? I want you guys to understand that when it comes to pawn play, pawn structures, pawn formations, I did a video on this and the importance of what that means and why, and how it's important to the understanding, to having a fundamental understanding of the game of chess. You must understand pawn play. And part of that pawn play, I mentioned it a little, I believe, in my other video, but I'm doing a completely separate video now just on pawn breaks and what it means. So important, guys. So what I'm going to show you is I'm going to go through about 8 different examples here that I put together. The 3-pawn break example, the 4-pawn circle break example, an actual opening called the French defense, a pawn break example using that, and different end game pawn breaks. You can have pawn breaks throughout the entire game, in the opening, the middle, or the the end game. And what pawn breaks are basically, and guys, this is an intermediate level video based on pawn breaks. I can't stress how important this is, guys. There are different reasons why you have to understand pawn breaks. One of the main one is, you're trying to open up a position to create an advantage for yourself. You're trying to disrupt the opponent's pawn structure in some kind of way. And another big reason, especially in the end game, is to create a passed pawn, to get it to its promotion square by, in most cases, sacrificing a pawn in a position to gain an advantage. Excuse me. And you can create a pawn break by either attacking the head or the tail of a pawn chain. Your goal is to try to create a disruption in the opponent's pawn structure. It's a way of undermining your opponent's pawn structure and creating this pawn tension, again, to try to create a positional advantage, a structural advantage, or a pass pawn of some sort. So let's go through these different examples, guys. And the first one we're going to do, if you can see my screen here, I'm just going to, first of all, let me get rid of this bookmarks here so we have more, there you go, screen real estate here. Let's do endgame pawn break number 1. So I'm going to blow this up, analyze this. Guys, in this example, it's white to play, right? I'm going to get rid of these lines here. And obviously my promotion squares are right here because white is moving forward. And I have a pawn majority, meaning I have more pawns on my side than my opponent does. If it was 3 pawns and he has 1, then again, I'm up 3-1, or it would be 3-2 or 4-3. Either way, or 2-1, I have a pawn majority, and I'm going to try to create a passed pawn. How am I going to do that? It's white's pawn to move. The king is so far away from the defense of this pawn, or from being able to stop one of these 2 pawns from reaching their promotion squares, including my own king as well. So my next move obviously is going to be g5, pushing the pawn to g5. Why? Because black's pawn has to respond to this threat. If he doesn't respond to it, excuse me, I have a free path to my pawn promotion square, which is only 1, 2, 3 squares away. So he has to take me, which opens up the path for my f pawn to get to his promotion square on the f8 square there. 1, 2, 3. So let's say it's my turn. I move, he moves. I move, he moves. It's a pawn race, but I get there first before he does. So even if he continues to push, I'm going to stop his pawn promotion completely. He can't do anything about it. So if I go through that really quick, I push, he takes, I push, he pushes, I push, he pushes. But I'm closer to my touchdown, to my promotion square, so I win that battle. I don't go and attack his king now at all. I have to prevent this pawn from queening. because I want to maintain my advantage. So I have to, postpone my attack on the king and go after this pawn, which is deadly if it reaches its promotion square on g1. So that's one. I'm going to show you a separate endgame pawn break right here. Let's analyze this situation. This has a few more pawns in it. So in that last example, I was trying to create a pass pawn. In this example, I'm also trying to create a pass pawn, but check this out. It says I'm further up the board with my white pawns here. I'm closer to my promotion square than black is to its promotion square way down here on the F, G, and H1 squares, right? Now, this is an exception in this case where usually where you have a pawn majority, black has a pawn majority here, and white has a pawn minority, meaning I have one less pawn than he has. He's winning 3 to my 2. But in this example, this exception to the rule, I have an ability to create a pass pawn here because I'm closer to my touchdown area. I call it touchdown like football. You're trying to get to the touchdown, to my promotion squares on F, G, or the H8 squares. So with that being said, it's white's turn to move. Sorry, it's black's turn to move in this position. Black moves up thinking that he has an advantage, which he does numerically, 3 pawns to 2. But look what happens here. If I take him, he takes me, and now he has a 2-pawn advantage heading down to his promotion square. So he would win that. However, I do not take him. I move my G pawn forward to G5, and now he has a decision to make here. Look at this. He has to take me. If he doesn't take me, I take him, and I'm off to the races to my touchdown on H8. Excuse me. If he takes this pawn on H5 with his G pawn on G6, it's a pawn race. So let's go through this example. He takes that one, and look what he does. He clears the H file for me to get to my pawn promotion square. He has 1, 2, 3, 4 squares to get to his touchdown. I only have 3, so I go push. He pushes, push. He pushes. Look, I reach my square first. His king is under attack, and then what I'm going to do after that is come down here to stop his pawn from promoting. Excuse me. So let's look at this example again. An exception where the pawn minority wins over the pawn majority, but mainly because I'm closer to my promotion square than him. So look, he pushes, it's his turn, G6. I don't take, I push up. He has to take me. I push, 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 push. I queen. Touchdown. So let's go to the third example. Excuse me. I'm going to show you this cool example here called a 3-pawn break, which I like. This is rare. This doesn't happen often. It's kind of a theoretical position, but it is good to know this because you have to know what to do and how to create a pawn break to your advantage, especially if it means creating a pass pawn, which is deadly in the game of chess, because you have to expend all your resources in your camp, in your army, to stop that pass pawn from promoting, because it will create such an advantage that you're going to end up resigning the game. Now, in these examples, the kings are so far away from all of their pawns. So this is basically just a pawn battle here. In this little 3-pawn break example, it's white's turn to move. What does white do? Now, white kind of has an advantage because I'm closer, again, to my little touchdown area here. My promotion squares are right down the street. His was way down here. Now, this is what helps me a lot. I couldn't do this if I were, if these 6 pawns were somewhere else on the board. So here's an example. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new analysis here. I'm going to set this up, clear the board. I'm going to put 3 pawns here for white, 3 pawns for black. Black king is way out here. The white king is way out here. And now it's white's turn to move. So in this example, you don't move this pawn. You don't move this pawn. You move the center pawn in the middle and you attack. Oops, sorry. You push. Now he has a choice. He could take me either with the F pawn or with the H pawn. Either way, he has to take me. If he doesn't take me, let's say he moves the H pawn forward. And sorry, guys. Let's say he moves this pawn here. I take him, and look, touchdown. Let's say he moves the F pawn forward. I take him here. Next move is touchdown. So he has to take me. So let's do this different variations. Let's say he takes me first with the F pawn. Let's say he takes me here. Now, what you do not do is you take him back at all. What you do is you push the opposite pawn, the H white pawn here on H5, forward. Why do you do this? Because watch this. It creates a must-take situation. This G pawn has to take me. If he doesn't take me, hello, I take him, and I queen right here. Promotion time. So while he's taking me, sorry guys, this kid. When he takes me here on the H, I push forward with the F pawn, and I am 2 squares away from my promotion square. Doesn't matter that he has a pawn majority now. He's much farther away from his promotion squares. I'm right here down the street. So we're going to watch that again. I know it's a little tricky to understand this. If you ever find yourself in a position, guys, where you're closer to your touchdown than he is, and it's 3-on-3, you always push the middle pawn. Push. Now, he's going to take me with the his H pawn, because last time we did the F pawn here. So let's say he takes me. Boom. Now, what do? You do not take him back at all. You push. You push the F pawn now forward. Now he has a decision to make. Let's say he takes me here. Who cares? I take him here. I'm 1 square away from queening. Let's watch that again slowly. I know this is a little confusing. You can rewind this 1,000 times, guys. But I'm going to show you again. You push the middle pawn. Whoever he takes with, who cares? If he takes with the F pawn, watch. I'll get this eventually. If he takes with the F pawn, you push the H pawn. If he takes with the H pawn, you push the F pawn. Now, he has to take me. If he doesn't, I'll come here and queen. If he takes me here, I still come here and I queen. Either way, he's screwed. And again, this is only because this is a theoretical position, because there are no kings around close enough to their pawns to help stop me from promoting my pawns, and vice versa. They're too far away, and there are no other pieces on the chessboard. None. So, again, this is a theoretical position that works in this case, but it still shows you how to create a passed pawn. If it were black, it's the same thing. If I were to flip the board, and now white is way down here, and black is way up here, black has a natural advantage because I'm closer to my promotion squares. So I would do what? I would push my I would push the middle pawn. Always push the middle when it's 3-on-3. Boom. Now, whoever he takes me with, it's the same scenario. Let's say he takes me with the H pawn. I'm going to get this right one day. He takes me with the H pawn. Boom. I push the F pawn, forcing him to take me here, and it clears a path for me here, or vice versa. Let's say he takes with the, let me push here. He takes with the F pawn this way. Boom. I push the H pawn, so he has to take me, and then I'm free here. If he doesn't take me, let's say he takes my F pawn. Boom. I'm home free, one square away. So that's pretty awesome. I love this the 3-pawn break example. All right, so I'm going to show you another example, guys. We're going to do a 4-pawn break example, which is really cool. Look at this situation here. I call it a 4-pawn circle. Looks like a circle, right? Again, white is closer to its promotion pawn than black is to its. So it's white's turn to move. Again, this is a theoretical example. Usually the kings are closer to their pawns to stop any promotion of any pawn, black or white. But in this case, I just want to show you how to break this, how to break through and create a passed pawn. So in this example, white pushes the B pawn. It could be either the B or the C. But for the sake of this example, we're going to start with B. What happens here? You got to play this through in your mind. Play this through in your mind. If he takes me, what I do is I take him back and I create a pawn majority right here on these two files, the A and the B file. It's 2-1. I don't even care about these over here. He has a pawn majority on me, but I'm closer to my promotion square than he is to his, which is so far away. Look at this. So I have an advantage. So what happens here? Boom. Black king comes to try to help out, but it's too far away and it's too late. So I push the A pawn, trying to create an outside passed pawn. Outside meaning on the outer files, the A file, or even way over here in the H file. He has to take, I take, I'm home free. Boom. So watch again. Push. He takes, I take. King tries to come out and help. I push. He takes, I take. Home free. Now, look, black has a pawn majority here, but who cares? It's too late, and I'm too close here to my promotion square. Now, if we do the other side with the C file, the C pawn, let's try this one right here. I believe it's this. There goes the C file. The same thing happens, except on the A and B file, it's now happening on the C and D file. So I push the C file on the C pawn. He takes, I take. Here's my pawn majority right here, meaning 2-1. I'm close to the promotion squares. He comes to help. I push. He has to take me. If he doesn't take me, I take him, and then I'm home free. If he pushes forward, I'm home free, 2 squares away. Boom. Take. He can come chase me, but it doesn't matter. I'm only 2 squares away from queening. So I'm going to show you another example. These are just separate examples, guys, of different situations. Some theoretical, some realistic. Let's go to the French defense. This is going to get a little more intermediate level here, guys. More, I'm not trying to talk about. I have a video on pawn. What do you call it? On opening chess principles versus understanding chess openings with different names and all that, and chess theory. So I don't want to get into all that. I simply want to tell you that in this position here, this is a typical French position where white comes out first, with the E pawn, and then in the French defense, black responds with E6, and then white pushes the D pawn, and then we end up in this position here where we're locked in. So how do I unlock this closed central position here with these pawns? See, it's all closed up. So in the French defense, boom, this C pawn push to C5 creates a break and a pawn tension here by attacking the base of this pawn chain on D4 for white. So white has to do something about this. He can either take me or protect it, or protect it with the knight here, with the knight jump to f3, which protects the pawn here. But whatever he chooses, I'm creating a break. I want to damage the structure because it's closed so I can open up the position in the middle of the board. I'm not going to go any further into this because then it would be more studying the French defense, which I might do in a different video down the line. Excuse me. But just understand that this is creating a pawn break. If he were to take me, let's say he takes me here, he now has a pawn here that's alone. It's hanging. Hanging means it's free for the taking. It's on e5. Now I created a disruption in his pawn structure because this was a pawn chain and now it's no longer a pawn chain. And then if he were to take me, I can take him back with my bishop on c5, to c5. So we're going to leave that alone and we're going to go to another example. This will be the final example. This will be a little more complicated, guys. It is an endgame pawn break here. This gets, for the beginners out there listening to this video, this might be a little too complicated, but understand that it's the principle of creating a disruption in the pawn structure, pawn tension, creating a passed pawn, or creating a positional advantage. So in this game, it's white's turn to move. Now, if you count the pawns here, 1, 2, 3, 4, he has a pawn majority versus my little pawn minority. Let me go to the end here. So actually, this is for black, not white. Sorry. So I'm going to flip the board here. There we go. All right. In this situation, black has a pawn majority, like I said. White has doubled pawns on the G file and 3 pawns. So I need to break through this whole mess here to get to my promotion square. Okay. One of these. HGF or E file. How do I do that? White takes me. I take back. The king is coming over to help stop any one of these pawns from promoting. I'm not going to push this pawn on the H file because it's going to run into the G file pawn, and we're going to run into each other, and I'm going to lose that battle. But instead of pushing this pawn here on F file, he could take me, and then white takes me here, and then I lose both pawns. So what do I do in this position? I push forward the E file. Why do I do that? Watch this. It is all about the H pawn. You're thinking, wow, what the hell's going on? All the tension in the fight is over here on the F and the E file, and the king is coming over, and even this king might come help. What about this little guy way over here on H5? I'm trying to get him here to H1. Why do I need to do that? Because I want to take away the G2 pawn. Watch how this happens. Let's go back. The reason white takes with the G pawn is to undouble its pawns. I take, I push. Now look, he has to take me. He has to. If he doesn't take me, I'm home free. And this king can't get me. So he has to take me. Now watch what I do here. I don't take him back for the white king to take me. I push forward, removing the guy who's preventing the H pawn from queening. You see what I'm doing here? If this G pawn does not take me, I'm home free. If the G pawn does take me, bam, look at this. The lowly H pawn gets to the promotion square. Now here's the catch. This is what makes this a beauty. When I push forward, this E pawn is blocking access to this king's ability to stop me over here in H1. If this G pawn, E pawn wasn't there, this king could get to me. But since it's blocking it, it has to either go around this way or this way. And by that time, it's too late. If I keep pushing, look, he's trying to get to me, I push. So now he creates this open thing to get to me, but it's too late. Boom. I'm home free. So let's say he does go here. I'm home free. So let's go through that again. It was a little complicated. It's a little tricky. White is trying to get rid of his bad pawn structure by having double pawns. He takes the the F pawn. I take. Now you think, okay, he has double pawns here. But he has to take me. Because if he doesn't take me, I have a pawn majority over here. And one of these pawns is going to promote. He can't move forward because my king is here to stop his advance to get to that promotion square. So he has to take. I take. King comes closer. I push. He takes. I take. No, I don't take. I push forward to remove the G2 pawn. Why do I need that baby gone? Because it prevents my H pawn from queening. So he takes, and I push, and I'm home free. So, guys, that was a little more, a little trickier, a little more complicated, especially for the beginners out there watching this video. But understand, guys, when you open up a game, I'm going to show you a new game here just from scratch. All right. So, understand why, guys, you guys are trying to create pawn breaks, to create a passed pawn, to open up a position to create an advantage by altering the structure or disrupting the structure of your opponent's pawn structure, creating a majority, pawn majority, and in most cases you're sacrificing a pawn to create a passed pawn in a certain position. So I'm going to show you one last example. We're just going to play a make-believe game here. Let's say I open up. Matter of fact, I'm going to show you one of my games, one of my actual games. If I can find it, I go to my archive here. I'm just going to eeny, meeny, miny, mo, pick any game in my repertoire, play the trillion games. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Let's pick this one. I happen to win this. Let's see, this right here. Boom. I happen to play black in this position. I won, which is cool. We're going to start from the very beginning. And I don't know what this game is. I don't know how. I know I won, but I don't know what I did. So let's see if I have any pawn. There goes a pawn break right here. Guys, look at this right here off jump. This ain't the French defense. It's similar. But look what I do here. Boom. I pushed my C pawn, A, B, C, to C5, creating a pawn. I'm asking him, what are you going to do? This is pawn tension. If he takes me, I take him with my bishop. If he pushes forward, I get a free pawn with my knight here. Either way, he has to decide what to do. What he did, I don't know. He defended it. That's fine. I took it. The reason I took it, I'm sure because of the way that I know the game and the way that I play. I'm taking away one of his most valuable pawns, which is the two pawns on the E and the D file. Same with white for black as well. With one of my flank pawns, any more over here on the sides, A, B, and C, or H, G, F. That's probably why I did that. And now he brings his queen out. I'm just looking for another pawn break. If not, we're going to end the video here soon. Here's a pawn break right here, guys. See the E file? The E pawn on E6. I push forward. Boom. I want to create tension. Is he going to take me? Am I going to take him? Which opens up the E file, which gets to his king, which is stuck near the middle. It's not protected. There's too much space around it. So I want to get to it. So there goes another example, guys. Boom, of a pawn break. Now look, I take it. Why? Because I want to open his file. He's in the middle to bring my rooks over here to attack him. So anyway, guys, those are actual examples, real time in a real game that I played. I just eeny, meeny, miny, mo picked it, and it showed you some real pawn breaks there, what the purpose and reason of. So, guys, I want you to study this a lot. Understand pawn play, pawn structure, pawn breaks, pawn formations. I cannot stress enough, guys, how important this is to find pawn breaks in your game that will yield an advantage for you against your opponent. So, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please subscribe if you can. I'm at on YouTube, chess.salcedo27, or you could find me on Instagram under chess_salcedo. And this is Tony Tone, the Chess Salcedo. I am out. Peace.